Thanks for tuning in today. I'm John Holmes, and today we are going to void the warranty on our Sur Ron charger. Yeehaw. So the purpose of today's video is that I want to turn down the charger a little bit. I believe that the amp draw is a little too much for this charger. I guessed that it was a Kingpan manufactured charger, and indeed it is. If we look inside right here, they've got their little mark on the board. And when I went to power up the charger today, there's these two little NTCs that are located over here that are supposed to shut off if the charger gets too hot. Well, one of them literally threw sparks out the side. I wish I'd caught that on video, but one of them literally threw sparks out the side of the device when I booted it up today to just make sure everything was working. Case in point, the charger just runs a little bit too hot for what it is. And that's kind of typical for something coming from Kingpan. If it's going to be a 10 amp charger, then you better not turn it up to 10.1 amps or else it's going to just overheat on you. So the way that heat works is your resistance times your amp draw squared. So if we are pushing 10 amps out of this circuit, it's going to have, let's just say, 10 squared units of heat. That would be 100 units of heat. If I turn this down to 7 amps on the output side, that's going to drop us down to 7 squared, which is 49 units of heat. Pretty much half the heat just for turning it down about 30%. Now, it doesn't exactly work as clean on the power side of it since it's an AC waveform coming in. It looks like they're probably rectifying this, judged on the size of our components in here. They're probably rectifying this and then doing a chop DC so they can get away with a much smaller transformer in here. And they've got a couple of transformers going around, but that'd be my best guess. I haven't modeled the circuit yet, but the downside of this video today is that one of the NTCs is just gone. It completely crumbled when I tried to push it out of the way. And for posterity reasons, I should see what this is. NTC 5D-15. Hopefully I can get some help from the manufacturer or Cycle since I bought it through them. Otherwise, I can probably just fix this up myself. What I am hoping is that I can at least boot it up, see which one of these potentiometers adjusts voltage. I'm going to guess it's the one that's closest to the front. And then we've got two of them that adjust amperage. One of them will be the bulk amperage, and then one of them will be the release amperage. What the release amperage means is that, let's say we're charging at 10 amps and you set the release at 10%, then it's going to stop the charge when it gets to 1 amp. And that's important for lithium only because you have a BMS. You could literally have it, go on and on and on. It's kind of a byproduct of lead acid charging style where it'll go into a trickle mode at a certain percentage. At any rate, I guess it's just time to plug this in. The first thing I'm going to do is check the bulk voltage coming out of here. I've got the pins written down, 1 and 2 and ground. More than likely 1 is going to be our positive or 2 is going to be our negative, and then ground's probably going to be unused in here. Let's see, I can actually trace the wires coming out, and there's only 2 wires coming out of the harness. So yeah, more than likely our ground isn't even going to be used on this connector here. So yeah, we've already got power. The neon shows that we've got power on our little test thing here, quick test. So I'm going to close this down, and hopefully we're not going to see any fireworks, but yeah, here it goes. I heard a little zik, and now she's going. Cool. Let's see, so we're drawing a quiescent current of 0.6 amps on the AC side. Now let's see what we're getting on the output here. Just use them like chopsticks. And I probably don't need to remind you guys, don't try this at home if you don't know what you're doing, because the voltage is high enough that it will bite. It'll get you through your skin. Basically anything higher than 50 volts DC, it'll jump through your skin. All right, so we're getting no output on here, which is a shame. More than likely, it needs to see the battery first before it starts to charge. And I don't know if I want to hook this thing up to the battery with the way that it's acting, and not having that NTC, it's going to be routing all the current through one of them instead of two of them. This will make an interesting video maybe. We do have some water off to the side in case we have a fire. Yeah, she's simply not outputting any voltage since we don't have anything hooked up. I wonder if I can reset this guy. Woo! Yeah! Ah, it went back off. Crap. All right, I'm gonna try once more.
You want me to push it?
Nah, it's cool. Well, yeah, maybe. Make it a little easier for me. I'm gonna have my assistant push the button.
You ready?
Almost. Yep. Crap. Once more. 67.2. All right, we'll do a little bit of math. 67.2 divided, that's 672. 67.2. 67.2 divided by 18 cells. That is 3.7, so it didn't quite get up to the terminal voltage. Now what I'm trying to do is see what our voltage is so that when I start adjusting things, that I will know if I'm adjusting the voltage. So let's see if I can actually get inside here enough to probe without shorting anything out. Now, this is live voltage right now. Again, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it, because it'll hurt you. Come on now. So if I can get some probes down in there without shorting things out, I don't think that probe will quite reach. We'll just get into our field of view. No big deal. Don't short out on that. Can I reach it? There we go. So I can at least reach the corner. Hey, I may even be able to. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to just plug this in to our battery and start messing with things, I guess. Yep. Nothing else to do but to do it. For reference, our battery is at 75% state of charge. I'm going to plug this guy in and hope we don't get smoke.
Smoke.
Smoke. All right, we're going to unhook that and open up our power. Boy, that NTC smells great, doesn't it? Hooey. You know what? We may as well just bridge that NTC because right now it's not doing anything. So we got power off. I'm gonna just go ahead and unplug. We're gonna pause and be back here in a second. All right, so hopefully we don't have any of the capacitors still charged, but it's always a danger that the capacitors will keep a charge, and that when you're messing inside these components, that you want to make sure you discharge the power capacitors and don't hurt yourself. Oh boy, yeah, these little NTCs just got fried. Absolutely fried. So what I'm doing is I'm just shorting the legs of the NTC together, or what used to be the NTC. And I may have to do a little bit better job, but it's probably gonna be all right. We're just trying to adjust the amperage a little lower so it doesn't happen again. All right, so I'm gonna boot it up. We'll boot it up. We'll see if it smokes. So. Got ourselves a little arc. We're down all the way. Why is this not going? There we go. Come on, bladed contacts. Oh, great. They already arced on me. Yeah, whatever. Go. Cool. All right, no smoke yet. So what I'm trying to adjust is the amperage, just so that I can do it really quickly in case we get some more smoke and fire. I'm going to etch out these two potentiometer. They put some like silicone over them so you can't adjust them as easily, so they don't vibrate out of adjustment. So I'm just going to get those kind of clean and clear so I can run in as fast as possible and adjust these, because I'm assuming this charger is not going to like what I'm going to be doing. It's probably going to start smoking again. And what I'm looking for is the amp draw on the AC side, and I am going to try to lower it by 30%. And since it's the AC side, not the power side, it's not going to be exactly right. But less power is less power. All right, here's hoping. All right, 5 amps. Didn't adjust anything. Number 2. Didn't adjust anything. Fantastic. All right, so that didn't help us. But at least we didn't get too much smoke this time. All right, I'm gonna try once more. I'm gonna go for this one. Oh, fantastic. Didn't adjust anything. So I'm going to try a little more on this other guy. One turn. Oh, going up to 6. So we're going to go the other way. 5.4. 5.1. 5. 4.9. 4.6. 4.3, 4.0, 3.9, so we were at 5, that'd be about 25%, 20%, 3.7, I'm gonna go to 3.5, 3.4, 3.5, all right. So that's the one. Cool. Well, that's basically the adjustment that I wanted to do. I'll need to further fix this as far as replacing those NTCs. Won't be too big of a deal, really. Yeah, so this turned out to be our amperage adjustment. This is probably going to be the amperage release adjustment, which we really shouldn't have to mess with. And then the one that's closest to the edge of the case is our voltage adjustment, more than likely. Now, it wouldn't trigger easily enough. Since it's a smarter charger, it won't trigger by itself unless we also have a battery hooked up to it, which does present a little bit of an issue just for easily troubleshooting. But yeah, that should be good. What I'll be able to do is charge up the battery, make sure that make sure we get that exactly where it was. There we go. I'll be able to charge up a battery and make sure that it is hitting the right voltage at the end so the BMS will work. Typically you want it to give just a little bit more margin, so we usually would stop a charge at 4.2 volts per cell, and it needs to essentially stay right at 4.2 volts per cell so that the balancing, the battery management circuitry can do its job. And sometimes you turn it up to like 4.21, 4.24, even as high as 4.25. Depends on the BMS and the charger, basically like how they work together. But yeah, that's really about all I can do. At least I turned down the power on this guy. So we will see, let's see, we can just calculate the heat difference on the AC side. We were at, what was it, about 5? It was about 5 amps on the AC side. So that's 25 units of heat. And then now we're at 3.5 times 3.5. Now we're 12.25 units of heat. So about 50% reduction in heat as I was shooting for. On this side, I had noticed a little bit of heat on the edge of the wires, the wires coming to it, and that's really never a good thing, is to make your chargers run hot. So yeah, got to turn down. That's good enough for now. Honestly, if I turned it down that much, I could probably just bridge over these NTCs and call it good. It's really never good to undo some safety mechanisms like that, but do what you have to do sometimes. I am going to test this one more time. I forgot to write down which was which as far as the voltage. Let's see. I don't need to know the exact voltage. Just need to know that number 1 is positive and number 2 is negative. So that's, there we go, positive and negative. And what I'm going to do next off camera is I'm going to hack this in between and then use, I don't have it here, but I'm going to hook up a normal style charger in between so that I can hook this end with a pigtail onto my other chargers, as I have previously talked about. And then actually this it can work on any of my other normal batteries as well, because I'll have a, what would it be called? Male housing female pin, or I'm sorry, the other way around. Female housing male pin coming out of this way, the standard XLR. Then we'll have the opposite mating one right here, and then we'll have the same here to go into the battery, which would be the male pin, female housing. And yeah, so that gives me a little bit of work to do in the future. And yeah, we'll just call it good. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any more questions about the battery pack or the charger setup on the Sur Ron, or any other electric bike for that matter, just give us a holler in the comments. Thanks for tuning in today.